So what exactly is happening is I'm creating two circles and we're going to put an anti-spin to it, which means it's going to kind of move like a spirograph. You guys remember the anti-spins that we were working on? Except for we're doing it across 2 points. So what's going to happen is basically this is going to come up and out. So the first part is just doing half an anti-spin this direction, while the one on bottom does it the exact opposite. Now, how this works, just follow along and it'll just start working. Now, it's not an easy move. We're going to be in something called crank position, which is basically one hand is in front of the other, because if they're around the same area, they're going to crash into each other like so. So what's basically going to happen is, for me, I'm going to have my right hand forward and my left hand back, and I'm going to spin these in circles. Now, this alone is something else, because if you look at this, this is different than this. Okay, so when we're doing our spinning, the first thing I want you to look at is to make sure that when you're looking in between both of these chucks, that they're meeting in the center. Do you see how how these chucks are kind of, this is going up and this is down, and they meet right here as they spin around each other, meet in the middle? That's what we wanted to do, is we wanted to meet in the middle. And then we're just going to have our hands extended outwards, and we're going to still see if those points can meet in the center, like so. If you have problems getting them to meet in the center, the motion is as one goes up, one goes down. It's kind of like the buzzsaw. You know how we had the buzzsaw? I don't know if you guys remember this video, but if your motion's a little bit off like this, what happens is one goes up and one goes down. So as one hand goes up and the other goes down, it creates, well, what's called split time. We're kind of doing that here though. So here, and we're trying to get them to meet in the center. Just practice this until you can get them to meet, because you won't be able to get past it otherwise. The second part is we're going to reverse the 2 points. So now one hand is over here and one hand's over here. With the arms crossed, this is a little bit more tricky. If you look over to the side, you're going to notice that it's actually not straight at all. This is creating a circle on the inside of my arm like this, while this one is creating a circle in front. So that way they don't bump into each other. So it looks kind of straight here, or straighter, I should say. Well, it looks straight here. As I turn, what you're going to see is it's actually kind of offset. There's actually a space that happens. This one is a tricky one, so you might just have to sit like this and practice this for quite a while. Like that. Again, it's the same thing. One hand goes up and one goes down, so your hands are actually kind of moving like this. My right wrist is right below my bicep right at this moment, and it trails all the way down to about the tip of the back of my hand, like so. This kind of motion you might even want to practice. This is so the nunchuck doesn't get in the way of the other hand, which is slightly ahead, and it's going to move, it's going to spin the opposite direction as it's going. So here we go, we're spinning. This hand's over here for a second. Just see if you can get this. Get your hand behind your elbow like so. If you look, it's like a triangle. See, it's creating a straight line from this wrist over to the back of this wrist. I don't know if I can grab it very well, but you're trying to create like this line. I'm grabbing it here. You're trying to create a line right like that. Boom. So the other hand is just going the opposite way. So again, we're over here like so. It's right behind the bicep. And you're trying to get them to meet. So if you have to, open and close your arms until you feel comfortable with it. That's kind of a tricky move in itself. Like I said, this is not an easy move. It's just a cool, fancy one that isn't terribly hard once you get the feeling of it. So first one is here. They're meeting in the center. Okay. The moment my right hand goes to the outside like this is the moment I carry my arms over into this one. Whoops. Into this one. Now if my hands are too far back, they're going to crash. So I need to make sure my right hand is more forward than my left. Again, because you don't want chucks on the same plane. So as you can see, we're actually kind of at a different angle. But the moment I move them about to the same, so the moment this moves to about the same size, the chucks are going to crash. So here, whoosh. Here, oops, see, it happens to me too. So once you get this motion here, what you're going to do is as soon as the chuck is about 6 o'clock, it's going to rotate up to about 12 o'clock. And this is the motion that you want to practice, is kind of, as it's at 6, you're going to kind of just give it like this upward swoop up into 12. So here, swoop and out. So swoop and out. So your hands are crossed, it moves to 6 o'clock, you pull it up to your head and out. So, see in here, 6 o'clock, up and out. 6 o'clock, up and out. 6 o'clock, up and out. Again, 6 o'clock, up, and then out. It's almost like dip, up. It's kind of like something like an up stall, but it's not quite. Again, once we're at 6 o'clock, we're gonna move our hands, move it kind of in an arc this way, and then out. And it's just gonna cause it to stall just for a second. So here, and out. Now the other hand is gonna do the exact opposite, except it's gonna be the exact opposite. Once it hits about 12 o'clock, it's gonna go down. So down and out. So here, once it hits 12, we start moving it downward. So once it hits 12 o'clock, I'm over here, it moves downward and then out. And if you put them together, ooh, it just got dark, hold on. All right, if you put them together, you have this motion. Yeah, it's still dark, hold on. Oh, the perils of recording. If you put them together, it's that. Oops. You can do it fast. You can do it from a 3-beat, reverse 3-beat, 3-beat, weave, reverse, here, 3-beat, here, reverse, here. Whatever you want. It's just a nice little transition to add. Kind of breaks it up. If you do it nice and slow, it looks cool too. It just looks like, it almost adds an isolation to it. It's whatever you want. So I hope this helps. This is not an easy move, okay? So if you're having troubles, just see if you can just do it with one right now. Just do it with one. Work your anti-spins. You have to know your anti-spins. You have to learn how to spin from this position. You have to learn how to spin from this position. So if you can get that, you'll be gold. Any questions? Give me a holler. And yeah, write me.